Yeah, this part three though. So, like in the jungle, you gotta respect all the elements. You gotta respect all the elements. If you in the jungle and you don't respect all the elements, it's no need. It's no need. Listen, you gonna cause problems for everybody. You gonna throw off the jungle's what they call that, the ecosystem of the jungle. The lames do to throw it off. The secret societies threw it off. They threw off the ecosystem of the jungle. You know what I'm talking about? The natural flow of how the frogs get this, the frogs get that, the da da da, and all how everything, the food chain and everything, and this animal eats this animal, and this animal rules and all of this stuff with these weirdo people that infiltrated the culture and got in the hood. The culture was the tunnel that gave them the way to the hood. I'm explaining. I'm explaining to you. The hood was infiltrated by secret societies through the culture. All them weirdos came in the hood looking for weed and giving weed and brown nosing and giving people gifts and all that kind of stuff. The culture, you let that go based off the culture. You let the jungle be infiltrated by these Illuminati members because of the culture. That's how they had a way in. Otherwise, really, the hood wouldn't have let no new age witchcraft and all of that. We black people are, some of us are, most of us are, we on God's side. You know what I'm saying? Because of the struggle. The struggle, like you ain't gonna be in poverty and then on the devil side. You see poverty and you see danger and you see death and you on the devil. You sit up on the devil side. That don't make sense, right? Think about it. They don't even make spiritual sense. So naturally, ghetto people, real ghetto people, are. That's why you see them wearing crosses and things because of the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't realize that the crosses represent putting faith in God during the struggle of the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Because what sense does it make if you going through hell? See, white people don't know about that kind of hell. They don't know about it. You see me? You feel me? They don't know about that. So they don't. It's easy to use the devil as an option. You know what I'm saying? In their world, just to have fun or whatever like that. Black people, you already see people dying in your family, people getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna go join the devil? Who gonna go join darkness and witchcraft? You feel me? It's already dark in your life. That's why I know where it comes from. It's the suburbs where people are left in their rooms and they got these posters of rock stars, and you know your life is pretty boring. So it's easy for you to kind of venture into witchcraft. You feel me? But if you from the hood and the struggle, it don't even make sense. You already got people dying in your family. You got betrayal in your family. You got people killing out here. You done got locked up a couple times. You done got robbed before at gunpoint. You done went through your own battles. Why would you add negativity to that struggle? Why would you add negativity to that struggle? What we perceive as negativity. Why would we do that when we can see the devil active? Because if you have to admit, okay, when these things pop off in the hood, that's demonic spirits. When all this gang banging and popping and shooting and everything, and all of that stuff going on, though that's not without demonic spirits. Demonic spirits is behind that. So the hood knows like the wickedness, the wickedness in the hood, how wicked it can be, right? How wicked the hood can be. They know about that. So why would they join that? That's what they running from. You feel me? In essence, this wickedness, right? So that explains why I know most ghetto people is on God's side, because you just hoping to get through it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's poverty or the struggle or bad relationships or you know what I'm saying, baby daddy can't, had kids and you can't, get your life on track. It's just no room for like that mentality. That's why people be wearing crosses. That's why it's more than one type of fight. It's a fight, a cultural fight between um it's a cultural fight between the hood and the suburbs, because they use the witchcraft. We trust in God through the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a culture clash, not just good and evil. It's also the ghetto who trust in God, and the suburbs who trust in the devil because they got too much time on their hands, and their family got money and stuff like that, and they ain't never have to trust God for anything. They ain't never have to trust God to make ends meet. They ain't never have to trust God to put food on the table. You know what I'm saying? Because their family had a certain amount of food in the cupboard. In the cupboard. You know what I'm saying? Cupboard, cupboard, like suburb. Hey, but you had enough food in there, so you didn't have to trust for nothing to happen. It just happened. And with that, people get comfortable spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Where they don't trust on God because you got what you need. You just work hard. You'll just try your best with working hard. While people in poverty, they don't even get a chance. And then you don't know what tomorrow brings in that neighborhood. So you always got to stay prayed up. You know what I'm saying? You always got to show what side you want. Now, I'm not saying people in the hood don't use witchcraft, but I'm saying in general. I'm talking about the in general. I'm talking about the in general mentality of the general people. You know what I'm saying? So when you see all these people using witchcraft and stuff like that, that's suburban people. They don't taste right to me. You don't taste right because I know what the struggle is. I know what life is about. You might not. You might look at my life and not understand the mystery of what I'm doing, right? And that's you. You call it the mystery. You know what I'm saying? What I'm doing, I can explain it to you, okay? But you still ain't gonna understand it. But right now I'm in spiritual war. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in spiritual war with um, the police. These bad politics out here by these Hispanic and Latinos in East Elmhurst, and these black folks that fueled it along the way. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mixture of all of that. Police, Hispanic and Latinos in East Elmhurst trying to come up off my name. You know what I'm saying? Trying to clout chasing a little bit too, and it's a little bit of that in there too. So that's why I know what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So how I play it is I just give them no recognition. I don't give them no attention. That's how I play it. I just starve them as far as attention. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I have to go to war. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real warrior, and some people want to challenge things like it's boxing or it's like a gladiator. This isn't gladiator sports. See, suburban people get lost in TV. They get lost in movies. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of ghetto people went and made their own movies, went outside and had fun, went out into the world, while suburban people more have the tendency to try to create their own movies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at a lot of movies in the suburbs. In the suburbs, they watch a lot of movies and stuff, and so they can easily just kind of try to create their own realities off of something they seen on TV and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. I mean, you got to understand psychology to understand that. So when you have neighborhoods like East Amherst, where it's not really the hood, I'm pretty sure it's probably been thugs or gangsters in here, but you're corny for trying to bring them up when the whole community don't smell like gangsters. It don't smell like thugs. It don't feel like that. It don't feel like that. So it's irrelevant to bring it up when it doesn't apply to the situation or everyday situation in this neighborhood. So bringing them people up is irrelevant to me because it don't apply to these situations, and it obviously don't apply to the principles that the neighborhood had or they don't have. They don't have these certain principles. So why bring somebody up? Why bring up the thugs and gangsters that came up in this neighborhood? Because it don't apply now. It don't apply to how these streets move. Okay, it don't apply to this disrespect that they showing out here. All this disrespect they showing. So what? Why bring up somebody else? It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Because if it was so dangerous, if it was so real, then the respect levels would apply. The respect levels would apply. See, you didn't think. Maybe you thought I couldn't be in a hard neighborhood. I can be in hard neighborhoods because you know what? Whether you're hiding something or not, the hood feels like this. I'ma live and let live. You feel me? Like if you are a pedophile in your mind, let's just call it out. Cause see, I'm man enough to address it. If you are a pedophile in your mind, I'ma still let live and let live, cause I can't call you on nothing. I can't see you out here playing with no kids. I don't see you doing nothing to no kids. So if I think you kind of weird, then I might just kind of trail away from you. But I'm not gonna go send some agencies or send some people after you because I think you're a pedophile in your mind. Because I think you have pedophile thoughts. I'm not gonna send nobody after you for that. I know what I'm saying. Where's the ghetto part of that? You know what I'm saying? What's that's not ghetto at all. Somebody from the ghetto is gonna say, well, I think that person might have some kind of like, tendencies to think about children some type of way. But then again, this person isn't doing anything to kids, so I have to live and let live. I have to consider myself and my own humanity reflected in that person, and I have to let that part that's of me that's in them. I have to let that live. You know what I'm saying? And that's why my karma's always good. But if I go around acting like we in high school, trying to be cruel and overly cruel to people, like we're still in high school, karma's gonna beat you senseless. Because karma's gonna consider your age. Karma's gonna consider that you're too old to be out here like that. And some of these Illuminati members and Freemasons, you don't want to grow up. That's the truth. You're a Toys R Us kid. And I'm not saying you got to grow up, but in a way you do, obviously. You got to grow up by principle. You got to grow up by your mentality. You know what I'm saying? You can be young at heart, but it's just that though, young at heart, not young in mind. It's one thing to be young in mind, and young in heart is another thing. I can be young at heart, but I'm not young in mind, as you notice. See the difference? I can be young at heart, have fun, laugh, but I'm not young in mind. My mind is not young though. That's never good because that's like you have no experience, and it's like you want to just stay stuck without experience. Like why, why be stuck without experience? You feel me? So it's like what people have to realize is, okay, we thought you were like one of us, and you was this quirky gay guy, and now you're jealous because I look like somebody that's easy to fit in, and you don't fit in. It's that too. So now I look like I could be cool with everybody, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? It's them type of characters too, man. And I set your world on fire. You know what I'm saying? I carry a weapon. I put your little world on fire. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care. I'm not gonna try you just off that. Because of that, I'm gonna check you because I need to check you. Okay. Now, if you young, you know what that means. If you so young at heart, like you claim to be, then you would know what that means. I wouldn't have to say that twice. What I just said right now. That's being fluent in American understanding. I wouldn't have to say that twice. And see how you're not that sharp, are you? See, you couldn't make it. You didn't even hear what I said. Listen, man, look. The truth is, half of y'all don't fit in. You don't you thought me and you was going back and forth like two divas, two gay divas. It's them type of characters. I know what I'm talking about. And those type of people, you need to understand, you're never going to be accepted like I am. You know what I'm saying? And then look, that's life. That's life. In some areas that I might not ever be accepted by certain white people or just certain people in general. They might not respect me for whatever reasons, or they may not see eye to eye with me for certain reasons. You know what I'm saying? But the respect I get, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to get. You know what I'm saying? Because you listen, you're not a gun-toting person, first of all. You didn't grow up selling crack. And if you go try to find those characters, it's corny when you do that. So it don't even have the right energy. You feel me? If you go try to find somebody that's gay, that was gun-toting and selling drugs, now you're corny. That's why it don't work. Because it wasn't natural. You went and found somebody to put in my path. And when you understand spirituality, that's what made you corny. Well, to place somebody in somebody's path, the world is spiritual, right? If you in the spiritual world are the type of people that place people in people's path, and we live in a spiritual world, you're corny. because the spiritual world supposed to bring people to you, right? But you're going into the spiritual world and challenging people and putting people in people's path that you think can challenge people and beat people. You see how corny that is, right? It's not natural. So in other words, you found someone like me naturally, right? Well, not really, but let's say you didn't know who I was, right? So you discovered who I was. And when you found out who I was, then you wanted to go try to find someone that could beat that, right? That's the corny part. That's the corny part. Instead of saying, look what we found. Look at this person. Instead of that, you want to, that naturally happened, right? Instead of that, you want to go try to find someone. Now you see the corny part. That's what we consider in the ghetto. Ghetto people. I don't claim to be the most ghetto person, but I think most ghetto people will find that to be quite corny. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, okay, accept it for what it is. This person is on something that we haven't seen and what we, on another level. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to going and trying to find somebody that was gay and then, you know what I'm saying, and then has a thug background and this, that, and the third. Now you're trying to find someone. And when you understand the spiritual world, it's corny because everything is spiritual. But you are a cornball going over here with the natural flow of things. See, when you manipulate the natural flow of things, you're corny. You're corny. You see somebody like somebody and somebody's with someone and you try to interrupt that relationship, you're corny. I don't have to interrupt nothing because I get what I'm gonna get what results I want out of life. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get what I want out of life. And right now, I want warfare, and that's what I'm getting against my enemies. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get that. That's happening, and that's that. And so, like, that's what I'm on. That's not negativity. War is not negativity necessarily because when you really look at it, war is a means to bring a positive result. It's going to bring a positive result, right? War is going to bring something positive, usually. If it's not just destructive, there's a reason why you're going to war. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why. There's a reason why you're going to war. And it should bring positive results for you. You go to war to bring peace to your life. Okay? So for me, I have to do it because it comes to a point where I've had people jealous of me all the time. You know what I'm saying? For all my life, I've had jealousy. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably because of my ethnicities. Some people are that shallow, you know what I'm saying? I'm not paying attention to it about it, but they are. I'm black, Asian, South American, and so it brings a lot of hate, you know what I'm saying, because of all my ethnicities, right? Okay, so with that being said, I'm not new to that hate, okay? And it's played the major part in this situation where we got to go to war, and what people didn't know is that I'm a prophet. They couldn't have possibly have known that, and because most of my family didn't even know. My family didn't even know that. So if you could have talked to anybody in my family, they probably told you I was spiritual. That's probably what they told you, or a Christian, a real Christian, a strong Christian, a real strong Christian, or something like that along those lines. But no one really knew I was a prophet. No one really knew, which was good because uh, that gave me a lot of that gave me a great advantage in these final wars, and it kept me undetected for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So it don't really matter now because I mean, look at things for what they are. Look at things for what they are, man. So it's just gonna be more stuff that's happening, and I just want to make myself clear about what I'm doing, like as far as cursing the the country, this neighborhood, East Amherst, because see, what y'all don't want to admit is that some people played with me and they were suckers. Okay, they were suckers. They were gay people. They were corny people that played too many games with me and did not want to admit that they lost. Like they out in the hallway right now. Like they don't think I'm that sharp. Now see, if we lived in a time where there was no police, I would go out there and shoot them. You know, but we're in a different time right now. Okay, that's how sharp I am. Okay, so you don't want to admit that these people play games with me. You don't want you're not going to admit it. You're not going to admit that you've been playing a show and you thought I was corny like you. You thought I was on some Milli Vanilli kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like some fraudulent Milli Vanilli stuff, man. Like, but it's not that kind of vibe, bro. Like I just like I live life, and I think that even I just represent the old and the young. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids these days, like if you're not careful, man, you could get smoked by a kid that you think that is just a stoner, and they blow your heads off, and you just thought, well, I thought this kid was a stoner. I thought he was just a little cooler, but people like murder and death is so infused in our community and interwoven into our community. Who can you ever say is not a killer these days? Who can you who can like back in the day you could just totally say a person uh, a wannabe, right? These days, kids are so quirky and they're all on the internet doing all these other things that's just outside of street stuff, but they can still be killers. And it's just like, so how could you even size a kid up these days? You see what I'm saying? And I kind of like, I'm like in between in the sweet spot where I'm not too old and I'm not too young. And I'm kind of influenced by the young stuff that's consistently coming in and the old stuff that's consistently coming to me as far as like my own understanding and my own upbringing that's constantly influencing my path. And then the young stuff is I'm not too old not to be influenced by or have a link to how they think because I'm close enough in age to where there's a constant link with how they think and how I think. Does that make sense? So it's like, with that being said, it's like I can relate to being young and like people think it's a game, right? Like how they would look at a young, maybe a stoner or something playing video games, and you think that you can kind of try this kid. This kid will blow your head off, right? I think that like I'm in the middle of that sweet spot where like kids are like that. You know what I'm saying? Where the older generation they try to read that, right? They don't know. Like, okay, you grew up on video games and the internet and things like that, but you're not one of those kids that people can try, like not too hard, because you will catch a body. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and like so, and they can't really gauge it too much off of ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So that's where like things get tricky. Like with me, I can tell if you're a killer even if you're not from the hood. Like I can tell. Like it's the mentality. It's the vibration. You know, and so I'm not saying that you can't find people that has a killer mentality from the hood, from different places outside the hood. But if you but most likely you're gonna find the best principles that win the wars from the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like my cousin that killed, like shot somebody and put somebody in a wheelchair. He called me crazy. That's after he did it. Just so you know my reputation. And it was based on stuff that me and him did together. That's basically what it was. Like me and him did crimes together. You know what I'm saying? We broke in houses. We broke in a house together, stole guns. Like true story. Even after I was a Christian, I was holding guns for him. You know what I'm saying? This was after I was a Christian, and I had to tell him, "Yo, come get these guns, man. I just got, I was living a spiritual life, and I'm like, I just come get the guns, man." So I dealt with guns, man. While I was still a Christian with big old rifles in the closet. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying and I'm just now becoming a Christian, but I got a closet like with 2, 3 shotguns in it that he done held on me, and I'm like, man, you got to come get these guns, man. You know. And so that's a person that knows me a little more intimately, even than my brother. Like me and my brother didn't really do no crimes together. We just like to smoke weed. Like my cousin, we the ones that really kind of, one of my cousins, like we did crimes together, like you know what I'm saying, and just even when we was younger, we did like just like when you first start out, you start doing crimes for fun. Like just can be just be honest, like busting windows out of car windows and stuff like that, and just doing crimes for fun, shooting guns and stuff like that, man. You know, it's just like you gotta understand, like the younger generation. Like I don't have no problem with that. Like they don't understand these, not the younger generation, but these old heads is the problem. And I'm telling you, in most of this situation, it's the old people. I'm telling you that it is. It's people that's my age or older. They the problems. But see me, I don't know, man. Maybe because I moved around a lot. I moved around and lived in California and everything. Maybe that made me a little more youthful or something, you know, in this kind of funny way. Like where I'm just I'm able to understand how uh, young principles are young men. When you violate some when you violate a young dude versus an old dude, like a young dude, it's more easy to do it. And East Elmhurst, man, like they get no love, bro. Like no love. Like we don't respect that at all. No, because first of all, I don't feel no need. I feel like you just fabricated situations because you heard about my fame and you felt the need to like set up all these different checkpoints because you heard about my fame and you felt like I needed to check in, kind of. You felt like I needed to kind of know where I was at, and I didn't need to know where I was at. It ain't no need. This ain't the hood. And I'm not selling no drugs, and I'm not hustling, and I'm not in the streets. So all you did was look ghetto and stupid because it didn't apply. What you was trying to apply for your own reasons didn't make sense in my situation. Now, see, if you smart, you understood every word I said. If you didn't understand it, then you didn't. You listen. You never needed to be listening in the first place. I didn't need to be in any of these politics in this neighborhood because none of the stuff that they doing applies to my life. It don't apply to me. I'm not out here hustling. Now, if I came in your neighborhood hustling, then I could see why I was in your politics. But the real reason that you put me in your politics is because you heard of my fame and you heard of who I was and you heard of what I did and you felt like in some type of way I needed to acknowledge you. You feel me? That's what it was. They felt like I needed to acknowledge somebody in their neighborhood or knowledge, and then it's corny once again because you're now placing people in my way. It's not natural, is it? Like anytime, this is one thing. Hear this from the African man. If it's not natural, it's corny. It's corny. If it's not natural, it's corny. Apply that to anything. And if you put people in my path and you knew, you know what I'm saying, you was doing it because you halfway heard of who I was and you kind of wanted to come and inspect me out more based on that. That's what it was. And you added all these checkpoints and all these games, and then you listened to the dark side of it, and you felt because I didn't really acknowledge you, you kind of gravitated more towards the dark side of what you heard about me, right? And then you felt like, well, to get some type of respect or to get acknowledged, you need to put all these checkpoints where I need to pass all your little tests and therefore acknowledge you in some type of way as superior, or at least superior over me being in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But none of that applies. Here's the thing. This is where I'm older. This is where I'm older. None of that applies to a grown man. I don't care about none of that. It's just like an old man moves in your neighborhood. This is how we know it's age discrimination. No, you got age discrimination too. I know how to call it in more than one way. I know how to call it in an intelligent way where it's a culture that is playing with you because you fairly are a young man. They got you in their politics because you're young. Because you're fairly young. Now, if you was old, they wouldn't be thinking nothing about you, would they? So that's really age discrimination. It is. It is, because if I had moved to your neighborhood and I was an old man, you wouldn't even think nothing about me, would you? Think about it. If I was old in your neighborhood, well, why would you be thinking about me? An old dude that's like in his 80s, or why would you be thinking about him then? You feel me? It would be no reason for you to think about that person. That's what I'm trying to show you. So because I'm young and black, you put me in your politics. That's part of it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because if I was older in some other race, you wouldn't even think about me. That's the truth. That's the truth. So that's how intelligent I am. I'm able to dissect why you're playing games. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to dissect what the real motives are, what it really is for why you feel that you can play with me. And the truth is, you clout chasing, you halfway clout chasing. Because instead of, you know what I'm saying, you heard all this about me, but you seen how I moved and how I don't interact with your community. And then all you had to get was a whiff that he wanted smoke with this neighborhood, but you didn't look at the negative forces that played against me in your neighborhood. And all the people, you didn't look at all the people that they used to play with me in your neighborhood. You had no reason as a grown man or grown woman to be playing with somebody you don't know. Simple. The perfect way of trying to figure out who somebody is, if you didn't know because you don't got no street wisdom, is to let them be who they are. If I just pull back and say, okay, nah, we heard this stuff about him, but what we gonna do is we just gonna let this person be who he is. Let him just be normal. Let him go around, walk around. Don't put no pressure on him. Because as soon as you put pressure on him, if he is a sexual deviant, he gonna clam up. He gonna lock up. He gonna clam up. Because he realized it's a plot. He realized he being watched. So how you gonna find out the truth about somebody when you know they being watched? Think about that. It's a stupid move. If I wanted to know who you were, I would let you come in my neighborhood, totally clean, clear, and I would let you do whatever you wanted to do. And then when you get caught doing something, you can't blame nobody. That would never be me. I'm just saying. But if I was doing that to you, I would pull you into my neighborhood and I would let you do exactly whatever you want to do. I ain't gonna put no pressure on you, cause so you ain't gonna know we watching. But we not really watching. I'm gonna let you live and I'm gonna live and let live. I'm gonna let you be exactly who you are. And that's gonna tell everybody. That's gonna tell these police. That's gonna tell the whole country who you are. But if I challenge you and I put pressure on you, how anybody gonna know the truth? Because now you can walk around self-conscious. See, when you understand deeper psychology, you know what that means. Thugs, gangsters, and anybody can do it. You can walk around self-conscious, where now you're overly conscious of self because these people playing these games and playing all, and then there's spirituality mixed with it. So it's all this intuition. So how can you read somebody in the middle of all of that? You can't. You can't get no good read on nobody like that. So you blew the whole situation because the truth is you were desperate to try to put a rap on somebody. That's what it was. Instead of because if you wasn't, that's what you would have did. You would have just let the person just be who they are. And then that would have told everybody everything. They would have seen, okay, well, we seen him interact with the kids. We ain't seen nothing funny. We seen him go from point A to point B. He chilled. You know what I'm saying? He felt relaxed. He felt comfortable. And he came out and he showed love and everything like that. And nothing came out of it. And boom, that's it. It's over with. That's how the hood moves. Now, white boys and the police keep playing games. The hood is like, okay, we let this person live. He chilled. He stayed here for 3 years. We ain't see nothing funny with no kids. We ain't see nothing on him. We ain't see him do nothing funny. Right? Okay, nah, we done with that. We ain't got nothing to do with it. That's how real tribal warriors are. You ain't gonna bring no liabilities and curses on your community. You brought a curse on your own community by continuing as East Amherst. Without me cursing you, you still brought a curse on your own community because you involved yourself in stuff after you seen the truth and reality. You seen it for what it was. That's all you were supposed to do. Okay? You got goofy, you got corny, and you're not admitting it. All that walking around stuff, that's all corny to me. They ain't no thugs, they ain't no gangsters. That's all corny stuff. Placing yourself in somebody's path is corny. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do it. Okay? That's what you did. You put all these people in my path. You played all these games like I ain't see it. You've been doing this whole time, and you still ain't came up with nothing. Now you look corny. Now you trying to save face for yourself. See, that's what a sucker do. You wind up trying to save face for yourself. Now you're doing extra stuff. See how I go from one situation to the other? Now you're trying to save face for yourself. And you can't do it, can you? So you're going to keep trying to manipulate till we have to go to war with you. That's what it is. Because now you are corny and found out to be corny, and now you're trying to save face in the situation. And I look good. I look good because I'm kicked back. I'm doing me. I've been doing me the whole time. But you're trying to make me be part of the liability, and I'm not going to do it. I got to distance myself from you as a community. It's too late for that. It's too late for it. I've already formed my opinion of you. Just like I said, what I would do. I sit back and I let you be who you was as a community. You can't say I'm lying. You did everything that I said, right or wrong. Okay, so when I form this opinion on you, you can't act like I'm being unreasonable. You did everything I just said. You brought the children out there playing games. You came out here gang stalking, trying to play with me, trying to curse me, trying to do stuff to me. Okay, that's who you are. I let you be. I didn't come out cursing you. I didn't come out saying nothing to you. I didn't come out challenging your community. I didn't come out cursing your community. I stayed in my lane. When I first came over here in 2021, I went from point A to point B. I ain't even get weed from this neighborhood. I used to go back to Jamaica, chill over there, smoke over there a little bit, because that's the neighborhood I was in. I was in Jamaica. I come back over here, chill over here, get my weed from Jamaica, and come back over here and smoke. That's what I used to do. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't even involved with your neighborhood. I was still involved with the other neighborhood I came from. When I first came over here for like the first year, for the whole first full year over here, okay, I wasn't even involved in your neighborhood. From May to May 22, like from May 2022, I was involved with Jamaica, back and forth smoking weed from over there, like walking over there. Now, I'm not saying I was in politics or anything over there. I'm just saying as far as my outings and how and being cordial to the community, I would come out and go over into another neighborhood. I wouldn't even come over here. I wasn't even out here. You know what I'm saying? The first full year. That's how you know I'm somebody. It was another neighborhood that I was cool with. I went over there for a whole year. And then eventually I chilled over here. I fell back off that neighborhood. Really because I started smoking weed. That's really what it was. And that's the real reason. Once I slowed down smoking weed, even when I started back, I just didn't go back. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't go back over there. But I kept that up for a while, like just going over there, smoking weed over there, and you know what I'm saying, and that's basically what it was, man. You know what I'm saying, like so, like I could talk the language, you know. So for anybody that's trying to act like they cool and too cool for school, and you think you can call my situation, Listen, man, I just talk circles around these people because I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know why it's going the way it's going. Because there are people that, they study they're street nerds. They study the streets. They study all this stuff on YouTube. They know all the slang. Them type of people. I don't trust people like that. I'm almost close to trusting people with a little bit of contradiction because you're more like real life. You got a little bit of contradiction, but it ain't too bad. That's I mean, as far as street stuff, that's kind of like real life. You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to this person that's all on these street politics. Well, this and that and that, and he should be doing this for the and no, nah, bro. I don't trust no spirit like that. You see what I'm saying? I don't trust that. I trust somebody that's more like we all homies. We all grew up in the same neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And then we just grew up. You know what I'm saying? And on vibes like that. Other than that, man, to me, what's fake is like I said, when it's not natural. When I know you doing stuff and I know you using these kids, okay, now you created a whole nother war that you don't want to admit. I don't listen. You listen to people that told you whatever, right? That's like somebody said this superstar lady said something that was just like very true. Like this singer, she said, this R&B famous R&B singer, she said, we're responsible for what we believe. And I knew what she was talking about. She's talking about these politics out here. We're responsible for what we believe. Okay? Now, if you want to be ghetto and you like this, you're the problem. Because you like doing this. You like this yapping around. You know them type of personalities. They get off on this kind of stuff. And those type of people, they work hand in hand with the police. Police talking about this, police playing games in the politics too, and it's these people hyped up that like to keep stuff going, you know what I'm saying, because you're extra ratchet. Okay, you're not classy. You know what I'm saying? And you brought liabilities to your community. And you thought you could smash me and get away with it, and it didn't work. That's what I'm trying to show you. I go to war with class. I go to war with class. That's why I can break it down. I can show you every mistake these people made. So I'm not spazzing anymore. I'm like, now I'm breaking it down. Now I'm breaking it down and passing it all around. Because now I can show you all the mistakes they made. Okay, listen, you let these people infiltrate you, you should be mad at them. You should want them dead. You should be trying, if you really had the strength and the muscle that you claim to have, you should be on their head. Because at the end of the day, bro, you see it for what it is. You read between the lines. You've been lied to. You've been played, and people played with you because they wanted to get at me. Okay, okay. So you got to understand this. Okay, so that has nothing to do with me. Okay, and God is not going to allow me to suffer for it. So if you took money from these people or you joined them, okay, I just want you to know, and you joined all, and because they're going to make people join in this neighborhood if I'm in this neighborhood so they can have people all around here. That's the purpose, if you don't understand. Okay. So if you chose to do that and you're in my politics for fun, okay, what I'm going to do in response to that is curse your family. Okay? I'm just letting you know. And that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay? Because at the end of the day, it's corny. That's what I'm supposed to do. If there's something unnatural in my path and I pick up on it, and I know as an African man, I got intuition. I know it's unnatural, right? I know it's unnatural. So I have the right, I can go to God and ask him to curse that. I can curse that. Anything that's unnatural in my path, I can curse it. You understand, right? Okay, because it's something that you're unnaturally putting in my path. I can curse that. I already did. That's why you have destruction in your community. That's why death is coming into your lives. That's why it's death everywhere. And you got to be careful on these paths, because now these spirits of death don't have no discrimination and no love. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna take more than you want them to take. They're gonna take a lot more. Okay, so I don't think you deserve any type of attention. You know what I'm saying? I really don't, as far as secret societies. That's why I'm done with secret societies. So you thought you had me sized up. And I don't know, maybe the police told you that. Maybe the police thought they knew who I was. Maybe they got arrogant and knew who I was, but they got to take another look too. You all do. You all do. You all got to take another look. You got to remember, I got respect from military. Okay, more than one time. More than one time. More than one military person. Okay, I lived with military more than one time, and I walked away with respect. So if you can you imagine me subjecting, is that a word? Can you imagine me being subject to East Amherst politics? Can you imagine me being subject to East Amherst politics? Okay? I don't care who was here. I don't care who's born here. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about that. I care about, I have respect for military. I've lived with military. All right? This is not fake, right? They can see through walls. They can see people for who they are. They can see everything, right? Okay, I don't care about the people that's born here. I don't care about Jackson Heights. I don't care about that. Because like I said, corny people are going to try to place people in your path, even if it's the past, people who was here before. What they got to do with now? That's what I'm trying to show you. It's corny. That shouldn't even be discussed, right? Right. Because it's corny, because it's not natural. Now, if I naturally came across the paths of the people that were here before and they famous, then it makes sense. Oh, that's a beautiful situation. I didn't know you was from here. Boom. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you trying to intimidate me with certain spirits and people and their fame and who they are. That don't matter to me. That don't matter to me. What matters to me, what matters to me is people uphold principles. Because if you don't uphold principles, listen, I am going to regulate on every single situation. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to be played with by a group of people that I've beaten too many times. I beat the Illuminati and the Freemasons way too many times for me to take them seriously. Okay? So for people that think I'm caught in Illuminati world, they may think I'm caught, right? But in your world, in our world, am I caught? Am I caught doing anything? Okay, so that's all. That's all we talk about, man. Look. Don't you worry about me, buddy. You need to worry about your community. You need to worry about your country. You need to worry about what's happening to your community. That's what you need to worry about. Because I don't think you realize. I don't think you still realize what a prophet is. Okay, when you step in my lane, I've already showed you. Look at this country. See, something in you. I'm telling you, it's something in you that think I'm something to play with. It's something I don't know what it is that made you feel this way. But I'm one of the most worst people that you can play with, and I already proved it. But maybe and somehow you know something in you something in you makes you want to play with danger. You're one of those type of people where you think you know you're tough for playing around with somebody that's dangerous, and you're getting off on that. Look, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this, bro. I'm gonna tell you like it is. You already violated me. I already caught your community. I am not no sucker. I could care less what you think. I always come out. As you can clearly see, I walk through people. Ain't nobody gonna challenge that. Right? But I have to curse this community because people stepped into my lane playing with me as a normal man, minding his business. And this is why. Okay? I don't care what you think as some bugged out witchcraft Illuminati members. I don't care what them people think. I know that they think me and them are in the same class, and we're not. We're not in the same class. We're not the same people. We're not the same type of people. Me and them do not move the same. They caused all these liabilities for your community, right? And what God is going to do is shut down the systems of America. It doesn't matter if Trump gets in there. It doesn't matter because God has determined that this whole city, this whole country suffers for the game they're playing right now. Okay? And you wanted to play a game, and the country let you play the game, then we're going to curse everybody. You're not going to get your way. You're not going to get your way, bro. Okay? So this is why all this stuff is happening to your community. Okay? This is why. This is why it's happening. And because you put all these people around me, driving up and down, playing around, look, man, this is why you're dying. You didn't get away with it. You thought you got away with it? Do you still feel you got away with it? You think you got away with it? You think you got away with this? You can't be serious, bro. Bruh, you can't be serious. You think you got away with it? You didn't get away with it. That's why everything looks the way it does. That's why the country is totally different. You notice that? The country is totally different. You didn't get away with nothing you did to me. No, you didn't. You didn't get away with nothing. You didn't get away with not one thing. And it's coming to the point where this whole neighborhood got to suffer. And this whole neighborhood got to suffer. This whole neighborhood got to suffer because they used them. They utilized this neighborhood against me. So that's the grocery store. That's the little delis and stuff. Because they did this, and I'm a prophet. I'm not some little gay little tink dancing around under a disco ball, right? I am a prophet because you played with me in my lane and played with me in my life, and you thought somehow because I guess you heard I had messed with guys that gives you some leech to put on me, like that you can like kind of play with me. Listen, I never got disrespect. I never get totally disrespected, and people get away with it ever. Okay, and this time is no different. Look at what's happening to your community. The truth is, they got to take the blame for what they've done. I can't take it. I can't take it. You can't take it. America can't take it. Nobody can take it. These little gay, little witchcraft people, and that's doing playing all these games. They got to take the blame, and God is gonna make them take the blame for what they've done. And ain't nothing you can do to manipulate it. All around, everywhere, they got to take the blame. They got to take the blame for what they've done, and it's nothing you can do about it. It's nothing you can do about it because everybody, every man has to take his portion in life for what he's done. Okay, this is real life. For people that are man childs and kids, and you remain kids all your life, right? You shouldn't be in the jungle. You shouldn't be in the jungle among us. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't feel sorry for them. Because it just, look, I blame your parents. I blame you. I can't blame me. You know, your parents halfway raised you. You're halfway raised. That's not my fault. You came out here in the field playing with God's people, and you got what you deserve. Okay? East Elmhurst. We're back on East Elmhurst. You wanted to play games for fun. You got a little secret society that came here. These Illuminati members decided to set up this little neighborhood to play with me, right? Do you see what happened to your community? Do you see what happened to America? For them coming in and playing with me and setting up this neighborhood like it's a game to play with me, right? You see what happened to them? You see what happened, right? Okay, so it's not you don't miss you're not misunderstanding why this happened, right? It's not a mystery to you, right? So you understand why it happened to him. Okay, this is why it's happening to everybody because we don't listen. I don't acknowledge arrogance. I don't care about you being arrogant. I don't care about witchcraft. I've been around killers. They worse than witches and warlocks. A killer is worse. A killer is more of a threat. Okay? So I don't care what they do. Okay? I don't care about that. Okay? I care about real life. And you can read me, you can go back to whatever you want to go to in my life and think you found places of contradiction. But all I know is I'm ruling now. All I know is I'm a threat now. All I know is I'll destroy all of you now. And that's all you need to be worried about. All you need to be worried about is what I do to you now. But if you a lame and a sucker, just like I said, you if it's not natural, it's fake. You bringing up the past and placing it now. Where does the past belong in now? Once again, putting these things from the past and now, that's corny. Anytime it's not natural, it's corny, right? Remember that. So if you're bringing up the past now, you know what I'm saying? In this present time, it's not natural, right? It's not natural for the past to be right now, right? In the front of you right now. So anybody doing that is corny, bro. I'm telling you, this is how you know it's corny. They do unnatural stuff. They do stuff that's unnatural, right? To your life and in your life, right? That's how you know. Look, all you need to realize is this, man. All you need to realize is this. You thought you was gonna find some contradiction in me. You thought you was gonna beat me. You thought you was gonna make me fold, and I didn't fold. Now you see I'm built like I said I'm built. Now you see I am who I say I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. I'm a servant of God. I don't think I'm better. I don't think I'm bigger than that. I don't want to be bigger than that. Okay, but you came out and played in the field. You came out and played as East Elmhurst. This is why your neighborhood is cursed. The children, everything is cursed. You can't play in the field like that. You can't play with people's lives like that. Not a prophet. Not people that fight back. People that fight back, you don't think they're gonna give you a problem? Of course they're gonna give you a problem, bro. Of course. Okay, so if I come out here and the Americans, you listen, people out here yapping and talking and all of this, and you listen to these yapping people in this building or in America, and they persuaded you to play with me, okay, then you have to take responsibility for everything that happens along with that. Stop trying to blame everybody. Stop trying to blame me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You chose to believe these lies. You came out as the losers. Listen. The more you keep coming back here, I'm gonna keep destroying you. Don't come back here. Okay? You suckers. You chose to believe certain things. You played games and you know, and you're not even really ghetto, but you are ratchet, right? Because you don't have ghetto principles. That's how I know. Okay, ghetto people have ghetto principles. And ain't no way that these people have ghetto principles in this neighborhood. If you seen a person here for 3 years and you acting like you still got a problem, that's not ghetto principles. That's how I know. See, I know who's behind stuff by culture. The culture. A certain culture tells me it's a certain people behind it. That's what tells me. A certain culture. I'm not your friend. You can't hold on to me. See, there's some people that are selfish that'll try to hold on to you, but they ain't doing nothing for you. This little room, this little roach room, this little food stamps, that's nothing. That's nothing. And I treat it like that. God is everything. These are spoils of war. That's all it is. That's all it is. It spoils the war. Okay? It spoils the war. So you might try to play me like a cheapskate, like you doing something for me. You ain't doing nothing for me. I don't care. Listen, you ain't doing nothing for me. You making up things. You freestyling. You making up things what you think you doing for me. You ain't doing nothing for me. Okay? So with that being said, people that try to hold on to you and think they doing something for you and like trying to hold on to me, I'm not a part of your community. I'm not a part of your world. You had your chances. That's why listen, I have my loyalty with God. My loyalty is with God. If you were so cool, if you were so much of a suck, if you was real and you wasn't a sucker, then why couldn't you persuade me with and understand the art of persuasion and propositions and all of that. You because you suckers. Okay, that's all it is to it. Because I've been out there plenty times where I was vulnerable, chilling, drinking, smoking, hanging out. Suckers. That's all I'm saying. And if they had been persuasive, if they were negotiators, and they was about their money, they would have came with opportunities. In the times when I was out there, right? That's for anybody. That's for America as a whole. No one came, right? So then when I come in here, you can't hold on to somebody. Now you see the lane, right? That's what I'm trying to show you. Now people try to hold on to you when you leave and they see you're not with them anymore. But they seen you out there. That's what I'm trying to show you. They seen you out there though. That's what I'm trying to show you. They seen you out there, but they played it. The reason why they didn't respond, because they played it a different way. They played it differently, didn't they? They played it differently like, oh, well, you're going to be condescending. That's how you chose to play it, right? Okay. Now when somebody leaves you behind and they're not in sin anymore and they're walking in righteousness, now you feel left behind. And that's really what it is. I've left people behind. I've left this country behind. And when you still play with me after that happens, listen, man, listen. I don't know what made you feel so comfortable with playing with me. Okay? I don't know what I listen. I think it's because you heard I was messing with guys. That's what it was. It had to be because other than that, like I don't know what make people think you can try somebody like that and get away with it. It's not gonna happen, bro. That's why I carry a big blade on me all the time. You know what I'm saying? If you don't think I would use it, listen. If you don't think I would use it, you're a sad individual. I tell you that. You're a sad individual. I don't respect them, and I don't. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't turn me on. It doesn't make me feel any kind of way. It makes me want to hurt somebody. But I choose to do things God's way. You know what I'm saying? So I curse this community as a result. That's what I got to do because you shouldn't have had my name in your politics. That's foundationally number one. You chose to believe you could play with me, right? But that's not my fault. That's your karma that you couldn't. That's what you got to realize and wake up to your karma. Your karma is you couldn't play with this person. That's your karma. That's your karma. I don't have nothing to do with it. Your karma is you couldn't play with this person. Okay? Your karma is you wanted to continue to play with me, right? That was your karma. Your karma was you wanted to continue to play with me in your community and have like this little thing going on when you think you're playing with me. Like I'm in some little trap or some little game. Bro, do you realize what's happening to your community? We don't know if Donald Trump really, if that was a setup or if it was fake with Donald Trump getting shot, right? But somebody died in that audience. That's real, right? Look at Palestine and Gaza. Is that fake to you? All them people dying over there. That's fake. I'm just letting you know, bro. Like, listen, you only playing yourself. You're not playing me, bro. You're not playing me at all. Listen, all that stuff you acting like you doing stuff to me and you playing with me and playing with my head and making me feel trapped in this game. It's cause you are a cartoon. It's cause you are a lame. To think that that will work on me. To think that to have where your mind is thinking on that level, right? You know what my mind is thinking? Destruction on my enemies, cursing every position in your community. In East Amherst, I'm cursing the grandmothers, aunts. I'm cursing the nephews, the nieces, and the uncles. Okay, does that look like I'm playing a game to you? Does it look like I'm playing a game to you? And so that's why I took this extra time to talk about this, because people need to see that you understand the streets. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has something to do with people that want to play games, and they suffer from psychosis, and they thought they could play with me, and they thought, and they're envious and they're jealous, and they can't admit that they're wrong and that their country is dead, and they're bitter about it all, they're butthurt about it all, and they want somebody to blame, and it ain't gonna be me. The next step is God is going to begin to destroy, because that's just what it's on. You play with me way too much, and I'm not affected by it. I'm not affected by it at all, because I got wins. I'm a winner. I'm sitting up here a champion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not bothered by it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shaken by it. I ain't never fold. You know what I'm saying? But it's just in the explanation, you know what I'm saying, for people that may wonder, what did it come to for this neighborhood to be cursed, because they listened to bad politics, they did what the Americans wanted them to do, and you went along with that show. Okay, boom. Take responsibility once again. Take responsibility for that. Don't try to blame me, or when you find out that it ain't what you thought it was, don't come rushing back to me. You know what I'm saying? You stay over there. Stay over there and die over there. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to play it. You're supposed to die over there with them. After you played in the field, after you played out here in the field. And every time somebody steps out, you want to play games, right? Okay. So when these things happen to your society, and these things happen to your community, you can't act like it's my fault. Okay, you can't blame me. Okay, so we have to curse this community. I don't care if it's police. I don't really care who it is. It could have been. I know it's a combination of police in it, but that's all. Listen, I don't need to know everything. All I'm trying to show you is every position, every position that's in this community. Grandmothers, grandfathers, aunts, uncles, nephews, and nieces. We're cursing all those positions. I'm cursing all those positions because they are involved. This country, this neighborhood became involved in my politics. They became involved in my politics, and I decided to do this. And God is backing me. And that's what I want you to know. So that's how we're gonna handle it from now on. We're not spazzing out, we're not ranting. If you notice, I just broke down politics, I broke down the streets, I broke down um, culture, different things. Like I'm living a squeaky clean life now. I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm not in the culture either. I've been out the culture for 2 years. So I just wanted you to see. I want one of these random like rap victims that people kill. These rappers that get killed out here in these politics. That's not me. That's gonna be the Illuminati out here playing with these people. Because I know my God knows how to take it up, buddy. My God can take it up beyond your imagination. My God can take it up beyond your imagination, little bro. You to listen. My God can take it up so hard, buddy. You would think it's Armageddon. You would think it would, and it ain't even Armageddon. We gonna get rid of the Americans the proper way. Okay? Started with East Amherst. You shouldn't have made me the enemy. You shouldn't have played these corny games. Okay? Like I said, if it's not natural and I go outside and I see gang stalkers and I know you playing games, I have right to curse that. I have legal right to curse it. I don't care what you said. I don't care what you heard, I mean. I don't care what you heard. Okay? I have room. I have legal right to curse you. And that's what I'm gonna do. And I just want people to know because for me, because people are playing like, you're some legend monster or something. Like you some people that just have it out for people and no, it ain't like that. Come on, man. People play games and they know and they thought you was on their level and these little gay people thought you was on their level and they thought they had you in their clutches and they realized you rose up and you rule everywhere you go. I rule everywhere I go because I'm real. You know what I'm saying? You can't rule over me. You tripping. You live in a gay fantasy thing in the gay world. For these gay and lesbian people that work for the gay community, you live in a fantasy thinking that that I'm like me and you going back and forth. First of all, that's the first fantasy you live in. The second fantasy you live in is thinking that you was gonna be me. You was gonna ever be me, destroy me, control me. You can't control people like me. Okay? No. I'm filled with the Holy Ghost. Okay? You can't control the Holy Ghost. Okay? I'm just telling you, I'm just letting you know. And you don't got to worry about it. Listen, I don't need your cosign. I don't need your cosign. I am sure that I'm filled with the Holy Ghost, okay? I am positive that I am filled with the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues, with the evidence of speaking in tongues, okay? All these other people that claim to be religious people, we ain't never heard them speak in tongues, have we? I am filled with the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues. Amen. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with mine. That sums up where I'm at. That's the conclusion to this whole situation. I'm just scraping up these weak politics, that's in my way. You know what I'm saying? These weak politics that I smell that's in my way, and I'm summarizing it with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm filled with the Holy Ghost, right? With the evidence of speaking in tongues. Okay, all these people that claim to know the Lord and everything, but they ain't speaking in tongues. People we can people want to they'll argue about it and everything like that, but when you full of God's power, how can you not pray in the Holy Ghost? How can you not speak in tongues? So with that being said, man, with that being said, you know, people have to understand. You put yourself in these situations. You wanted to be famous. You wanted to um, you lived a fantasy of playing with a human being, and you know, I lived out the legacy of defeating the Americans. That's what I got out of it. What I got out of this, what I got out of this was I defeated the Americans. Okay, that's what I got out of it. So how do you think you played me? You played yourself, buddy. You played yourself. Then you use all these Americans. Then you use all these people, right? All these children, all these people, all those efforts. You know what I'm saying? Acting like I was a pedophile, all of this stuff. Then come to find out you marrying children in this country. Come to find out that you just passed new child marriage laws while Donald Trump was in the White House. Now these police looking stupid. Now that you realize y'all got child marriage in the country. I don't care what you think. I walk down the street like a freak, like a liberated thug. Daring somebody to touch me, daring somebody to say something to me. Simple as that. As simple as that, man. Listen, I have no worries. I have no worries. And I'm not nobody's friend. I'm not your friend. I just want you to know I took the time to do this because I ain't gonna do this I ain't gonna do this all the time. Because I explained the curses and the positions. Like I don't think I didn't take a whole video to explain it. That's why I made this 3 parts because I wanted to make sure it's crystal clear. Like why this neighborhood is being cursed. Because you should have knew this was with me, with my reputation. I'm pretty sure you already heard about all of that, right? About my spirituality. Well, you should have knew if somebody was playing around me, right? You should have knew that a neighborhood that gathered themselves against me was going to get cursed. You should have knew that, okay? And it's just time. It's just time because I stay away from the community way too much to be played with. They trying to keep me connected to it. I'm not connected to that. I'm so far removed from the streets. I haven't been out there in the streets in 4 months. 1/3 of a year. Like a third of the year, I haven't been out there. And so I'm not out there. I'm not out there. I ain't been in the streets in 4 months. Okay? And so that's a whole season. That's a whole all of spring. I wasn't out there all of spring, man. So I can't let people play a lot of psychological games where they try to keep me connected because they out there in the streets with liabilities. These Freemasons, Illuminati members, they're out there with liabilities. They out there, struggling and lost, and people want them dead. I know that. People want them people dead, man, because they caused too many problems and they caused all these liabilities, and the Americans and everybody want them dead. Everybody want the Illuminati dead. That's what it is. And now you look like clowns and fools, and that's your own fault. Okay? Nobody's like, I don't feel sorry for you. You shouldn't. You know what it is. You step out here in these streets, you play with the wrong people. Why should I feel sorry for you? Why should I? Because I'm spiritual. I don't feel sorry for you. You're getting what you deserve. You came out here in the field, you played, things changed on you. The world is not going to ever be the same. Everything's changed in the twinkling of an eye. Now you can't go back. And that's what happens when entitled Americans play with the world. That's what happens. Now you can't get it back. Nobody can get it back. That's why we hate you so much. That's why I hate them so much. Because they changed everything for everybody. Okay? Not for the good. Now all of this, because of these weak people that never proved to live up to their name as the Illuminati and Freemasons, these weak suckers that never lived up to be who they projected themselves to be. Now they done caused all these liabilities for us. You feel me? It's like, no, I don't. I can't stand them, man. I can't stand them, man. No, I don't got no love for them. Okay, that's just what it is. I made my name on my own. I stood on my own. God is with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. I hate to see that another neighborhood got involved, but as long as I've been here, you deserve it too. You deserve it. I've been here 3 years. You still playing games, bro? Listen, you deserve what you are getting. It's that simple. Okay, now if you was a grown man, as you claim to be, just because you got a job, it don't make you a grown man. You know, if you were as grown as you project yourself to be, then we wouldn't have, there wouldn't be a misunderstanding, would it? There would not be a misunderstanding here, would it? You will understand that when you break rules, you got to pay like everybody else. I'm sorry to tell you. Your little movie and all the stuff you was doing, it's all crumbling down, isn't it? It is. It's all crumbling down. And now you look like a fool. See, me, I wasn't after clout. I wasn't after fame even. I guess you thought I was, but I just wanted to do my music and that's it. I can take what comes with it. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. And you can stand around here and point fingers at me and try to uh, act like I'm part of the problem, but that's just another stupid mistake. Like, how am I part of the problem? You lost. That's all it was. You used the whole community. We put COVID-19 on y'all as a community. I put COVID-19. God's kingdom put COVID-19 on you. All these things happen to you. Now bird flu is coming. You don't know what that's going to be. All these things are happening to you, right? And it's what you deserve. You deserve it. You caused it on yourself. Okay? So this is just the full explanation for East Amherst neighborhood, because I'm not gonna go into it again. Each month I'm just gonna come in here on here, and I'm gonna curse each position, the new position, and just move on. And I'm gonna say maybe some little extra words about whatever the situation is as far as in the present time. But other than that, I'm not gonna take a lot of time to talk about this ever again. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving this a formal excuse me. I'm giving a formal explanation and reason to reasonable people so they know why it's happening. Because you might have Christians over here and you might think that I'm not a Christian. That's okay. I'm not listening. I don't need an East Amherst Christian to believe that I'm a Christian. I don't need you to do that. I don't need you to do that. Don't worry about that. Just understand that just because you're a Christian and I'm playing my position doesn't mean you're gonna stop what I'm doing and you're gonna pray against me or you're gonna fast against me in this neighborhood. I know how American Christians think. Just because you pray against me and fast against me, that's not gonna change nothing. Because you don't know what these people have been doing to against God's people. And if they don't tell you the truth, then you're deceived, basically. You're hearing half of the situation. Not even really half. You're hearing their perspective of the situation, right? And then there's the truth. And so until you had talked to me, you're not going to hear the truth for what it is. Therefore, you know, I know that God is with me, right? And just because you're here doesn't mean, this is what I really want to say. Just because you're here, you're not going to hold back the curse. They caused this. Okay? They caused this. I have legal right. And you can't stop it. You can't call somebody a devil. You can't bind it. You can't stop it because it's illegal. You don't understand in these last days that people, this is the problem. These are things that many Christians don't know about. It's people that's all in this world, and they come running to Christians like they daddy and mama, trying to get people off of their head like me. But they're not telling you why this is happening. They're not telling you the truth. The truth is they play with me as a Christian. I'm a Christian too. They play with me. I'm a straight Christian. Nothing else mixed with it. Nothing else mixed with it. Not New Age Christian, not no Freemason Christian, nothing else. Right? Not an American Christian. Not even that. I am just a Christian, not an American Christian, which means I'm not biased towards America. America don't serve God. Okay? Now I can get on you about that. About half of you Christians probably in this neighborhood are voting as Christians and you shouldn't even be voting. Well, how are you going to vote when they got gay marriage in all 50 states? They got lesbian marriage in all 50 states. How are you voting? Would Jesus Christ vote? See, you don't want to admit in the last days we're not a part of this community in the world. That's why when I talk about real Christianity, I'm not saying this pridefully, but I'm going to leave you behind because I know most likely I can find in your life as East Amherst Christians where you're a part of the culture and the community. You're still a part of them. You're still voting. You're still part of the voting system. Jesus Christ would not vote because he cannot strengthen the satanic kingdom. He cannot fight against his father's kingdom. When you vote and you strengthen the votes for these politicians that empower gay laws, you are strengthening the satanic kingdom. That's fighting against the father's kingdom. That's fighting against God's kingdom. Yes, it is. And so, what would you say? What would you think I would say for you to do? I would say you have to let it fall apart. You have to let it fall apart. You have to. You're not a part of it. So when the last days are finally here, the final hours really, it's been the last days for a long time. In these final hours, would you agree that we would probably not be a part of the government or voting? If I asked you, let's say we were not in the last hours or the last days, but I'm talking about it, right? Do you think you would be able to vote in the last days? No, because it's so corrupt and so against God's kingdom. Why would you be voting? Think about that. You would have nothing to do with it. You wouldn't have anything to do with it. Okay? So that's for East Amherst Christians. I'm pretty sure you're voting. I'm pretty sure you're part of the voting process. That's why, please understand, even though I speak on these street levels and I talk about past weed habits and drinking habits and things of the streets, please don't misunderstand my history and my understanding of the streets. Do not misunderstand me for not walking in righteousness. Okay? I walk in righteousness. You have to walk in righteousness too. You can't be part of the culture. You can't be part of the community and all this all get along. That's gone. You have to serve the Lord. Jesus said he didn't come to bring peace to the world. That's what Jesus said. Go look at it in the Bible. Jesus said he didn't come to bring peace. He come to set family members against family. Right or wrong. Mother against daughter, mother and daughter-in-law. All the families against family. That's what Jesus said he didn't come to bring peace. Because serving him will not be peaceful with the whole community. Does that make sense? You serving God and they're not. You're not gonna be together. This is all it is. It's people that's mad because you're not gay or you're not lesbian and you're not a part of their community. I know that too. I'm not stupid. It's bitter people, butthurt people, no pun intended, that's mad that you're not a part of the gay community or the lesbian community. That's what it is. That's all it is, man. And you're not that important. Nobody's that important. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. It doesn't make you the most important people in the world because of what you decide to do sexually. So, with that being said, man, listen. The truth is, man, people lack manhood and womanhood. That's the truth. I can say whatever I need to say. I took the time to say it. I took the time to say whatever I needed to say, how I needed to say it. And you can't say there's no room for misinterpretation. I address Christians, I address the streets, I addressed everybody. I addressed all this stuff so that you understand that I address the streets here, I address the Christians here in this neighborhood, so you can understand my position and see my perspective on all of that. Okay, my perspective on it. Okay, so now you hear it from the horse's mouth. You don't gotta listen to nobody else. You heard it from me. Okay, you heard it from me why they're being cursed. You heard it from me why it's happening. They gang stalk, they use children, they use all these people. They drive it up and down the Story Boulevard in shifts, doing gang stalking, doing car convoys. Like they don't think I know about that. Okay, because they did that. That cursed this neighborhood, that cursed this community and the Americans. Okay, nothing is for free. We ain't let nobody get away with nothing for free. They thought I was somebody to play with. And I don't see how they can still sit around and think that. But hey, I guess we've seen stranger things. I guess, huh? But anyway, man, you know, up to the present time, you can clearly see the turmoil and the chaos in the community where people are getting killed at Trump rallies now. Because if what they did with him was a setup, that fireman getting killed in that rally was not a setup, was it? That was not a setup, was it? Okay. So somebody died at that rally. That's the bottom line. Okay. So I got bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna have any disrespect when I come out. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is and how it is. People that sit back and think that it's a game, you thought it was a game, you thought I was this, you thought I was that. Well, I'm sorry you was too corny to introduce yourself. I'm sorry you was too corny to act like humans act and talk to people and interact with people the proper way. I do this. This is why I'm doing this now. This is the proper way of articulating the situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's secret societies or public societies. I don't care what it is. All I know is I'm going to be a man, and I expect other people to be a man or a woman. If you can't do that, we have no dialogue or no conversation. See, that's what people don't know about me. Even though I got a street background and I understand the streets and everything, I'm also a person that prides myself on manhood and womanhood for women. I pride myself on my manhood and I pride myself on principles of adulthood and people and I expect people to do the same. Pride yourself on your womanhood and your manhood, your adulthood. If you can't do that, when we do this, this is what separates all the foolishness. Now you see who's who. Because I can confront anything you talk about. Whatever it is, I can confront it all. They can't because they're children. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I can confront anything they talk about. That's what makes me a man. Okay? I can talk to you about anything. I can talk to you about everything they talk about. But they can't talk about it openly, can they? So when the rubber meets the road and now war is breaking out, now they're forced to be men and women in a hurry. And they can't do it, can they? So they're going to die as children. No pun intended. While they talking about children and who's having sex with them, they going to die like children. That's all there is to it. It ain't no manhood and that. It ain't no adulthood and how they doing things. I don't have to use children to win wars. They didn't never win with me, but I'm just saying I don't have to use children to play psychological games. As you can see, I'm defeating the Americans without doing that. I don't have to use children. So who you respect? Somebody running around playing Mickey Mouse games with children, or someone who is completely uh, drawn back from the community and the children, and I'm not using anything. I'm not using children in these psychological games with people, right? I'm not doing that. I'm coming from point A to point B, running my errands, doing what I gotta do, and I don't need no love. I don't want people's love. I don't care about that no more. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I don't want. I don't even care about your love as a community. That's why. That's how you know um, I'm healed. Like from the